Hello and good morning, friends. Today we have ourselves a really interesting one. So this particular client had a bunch of trees removed. We were here about 6 months ago. They're concerned that the tree company broke some pipes, so we're gonna go back and we're gonna go take a look and see, does everything look the same or did things change? So let's go ahead and get into it. Well, as we can see, the tank is right here, but yeah, they sure did remove quite a lot of trees. So all the absorption systems right where all those rut marks are. So hopefully when we get everything popped open, we don't find any crushed pipes. So whenever you're purchasing a house, I always recommend getting an inspection done on your septic system. I always encourage to make sure you keep a documented source of all that information. So that way, when you do a repair or some kind of improvement to the property, like removing 100+ trees, now if you go back and you look at it again, you can see the before and after, so that way you know if the contractor damaged anything. With the placement of this tank, so this will be over the front, the back will be somewhere over here. You see all of this mulch and torn up area. You do run a risk of potentially having had things squish pipes, cause clogs, or damage anything that's underground. So the next step, what we're gonna end up doing is we're gonna pop open this lid, and then somewhere over here near this little piece of bark should be the back of the tank. We'll dig that up and then see what the pipes look like. Now that we've got a nice easy dig out of the way, we're gonna go ahead and use the camera to look for the distribution box, see if we can get that exposed and make sure nothing's broken. We'll be using the C-Snake camera from Rigid. We got ourselves a little plug right over here. These little 6-inch holes are amazing, makes the dig nice and easy. We got our baffle in place, so that's a good sign that all looks pretty good. So we can see that we have our outlet line right there. So by sticking the camera into the box, we'll be able to see where everything is using the locator. The benefit of the Rigid C-Snake locator is that it'll tell me the depth of the system and exactly where that piping is by using a locator. Now, on the end of the camera head is going to be a little radio that this little fella picks up. And so that'll make it much, much easier to find the distribution box. Otherwise, I'll just be looking for a needle in a haystack, and that kind of sucks. So let's go ahead and toss the camera through the pipe, see where the distribution box is, see if we can get it exposed, and see what kind of damage we're working with, and hopefully we don't find anything. So we've got everything open. We're about to run the camera through the sewer line. Really the big one is going to be from the home to the tank to make sure nothing got crushed in this tree removal process. But right now I got to run some water to make sure that everything's draining the right way. We've already probed the drain fields, those are dry, so that's the first step in the right direction. So now, like I said, we get to play the fun game of sit and wait and see what it does. So while we do that though, I want to talk to you a little bit about why I think this kind of thing is very important for you as a homeowner. So most homeowners will have some documentation of what's on their property, what the condition of things on their property is, and how things look just about any time that you're doing any kind of large project. Or if you don't, you should. And what I mean by that is you should have a good idea of exactly what's already here and the condition it is in prior to doing any work on the property. And the reason why is in case something changes. So this particular property, so far so good, haven't really run into any issues, but you gotta think, machines are really heavy. A machine like that is gonna weigh a lot. And if you have a couple of those running around, especially with giant logs like those, you do run the risk of excessive weight, which could crush PVC pipes or terracotta or cast iron. Particular circumstance, it's all PVC pipe underground, and PVC is actually really, really resilient. So it takes a lot for it to kind of go bad, especially whenever you have a lot of dirt on top of it. This system already has about 5 feet of dirt on top of the trench lines. So the benefit is that dirt, even though it's got its own weight, it's going to act as a cushion. So when they're felling these trees, if the trees fall down and hit the ground, the dirt should act as a barrier to help prevent some of that kinetic force from going into the pipe and causing extreme damage, such as a breakage. I've had clients in the past where they've done the exact same situation, where they've had the inspection, they have the videos, they get a couple trees knocked down, and then the guy drops the tree on top of the sewer line, and oh no, now it's not working. One of my clients right now is actually going through that process right now, where they had a tree company come in, fell the tree, and it landed right on top of their sewer line. In their situation, their sewer line was made of terracotta. And of course they went through the insurance, and the insurance adjuster and all those people sent a snake through the line and just said, oh, it's just a clog, there's no real damage. So they do that once and it doesn't fix the problem, so they do it again, still doesn't fix the problem, that's where I come into play. We went back out with the camera. So we already had the original inspection video, ran the camera through again, and you just see all sorts of debris, chunks of pipe, and then we hit an obstruction that we could not get beyond. So by having that second video, we're able to prove to the insurance company, no, the tree guys actually broke the pipe and they need to do something about it. The proper way that the insurance is going to have to deal with this is because the pipe is crushed, they need to replace that section of pipe. Otherwise, the home cannot actively use the toilets, and that's no way to live. You don't want to have to use an outhouse or a porta pot forever. Because we have this video of before and after, we're able to go after the insurance company a lot more aggressively, because again, they kept kicking this client around saying like, oh, it's just a clog, you're flushing tampons, you're causing problems. In reality, no, the tree company dropped a tree on top of the sewer line and they had some problems. Now, I know that insurance, their whole thing is not to pay out, they just want to collect their premiums. But as a consumer, it's very important to leverage all of your resources to try and make them pay for what the policy says it's supposed to pay for. Now, when it comes to self-inflicted damage, right? Like, let's say you felled your own tree, now it kind of gets in that gray area. It depends on whether or not your policy covers you doing something silly on your own property. But because this was a contractor, it was told to them where the sewer line was. You know, if they damage it, we have a before, now we have an after. It ends up being their responsibility. But I'm no lawyer, I'm just a septic guy. I hope that you found this informative. If you gained any value out of this, hit that like button, hit subscribe. I have more videos posted every day in the world of well and septic, and I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow.